How to become enlightened. This is Michele Blood here, and I am so happy and thrilled for you because we are going to learn about your true purpose in life, and that is enlightenment. We are here to become free. Enlightenment is our true purpose for being. There are so many things that can assist us to be in divine union. The first thing is we must gain energy. We may be meditating a lot, and we could be exercising as well to raise energy. However, we're still not quite there. The number one reason that people don't become free or that things aren't going well in their life is because they're losing energy. We must oscillate at a faster vibration, have more energy, in other words. We're not talking about, oh my God, I've got like so much energy. We're talking about energy and vibration, because when we begin to oscillate at a higher vibration, we have divine power coming through us to us. When we have energy, our God self begins to awaken. Just look around at your life to see where you're losing energy. Look at your finances, at your relationships, your body, at your health. You know where you are losing energy. You absolutely know. The good news is that you can do something about it. If you're losing energy physically, then begin to exercise to really gain energy. You gain so much energy, so much light from exercising. Release the people in your life that are just bad for you. You're probably bad for them too if they're bad for you. Release relationships from your life that are draining you, or you might be draining them as well. You must be. You don't have all the time in the world. This life is short. It goes by so fast. So you have to begin your new life immediately. Meditate more consistently. If you've never meditated before, begin to practice meditation, and then you will gain energy. The most important thing beyond anything else is to become free. Because as I have said, this life is short and you are here for one reason. So how do you get all that energy and that light on your own? No, not on your own. Find an enlightened teacher. Find someone that is fully awake, that can transmit light to you. You are here right now watching or reading or listening to this because you are interested in freedom. There's something within your soul that knows that truth. So maybe you're at a higher evolution and you know that when you have that feeling of wanting truth, it's because you're searching, you're soul sick for your true self. You're searching for God, for light. I remember when I was like that. My heart was out there glowing, and I thought it was just normal to have this sort of heart glow, as I used to call it. I went to so many different countries looking for someone who knew God. I didn't really know what enlightenment was. I'd heard of it, but I thought it was like a Buddhist thing, maybe. I knew I was looking for someone who knew God. I was brought up a Catholic, and I actually had, believe it or not, a wonderful experience growing up as a Catholic. I was with beautiful Irish nuns and lived in the country. It was wonderful. And I loved to see people happy. When people weren't happy, I couldn't understand it. As a little kid, I would say to myself, these people have got to be happy. You've got to be happy. As a young adult, I realized that my happiness was to find God. I knew that to find God, I would have to find someone who knew God. Later, I realized that this is what enlightenment is. So I went to many, many different countries. I lived in Malaysia for a few years, and I worked with the great and wonderful soul Bob Proctor for many years. And I also toured and worked with Dr. 𝗟𝗢𝗥𝗡, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay. I was a speaker and a singer and traveled the world doing these big events, working with all these great speakers. It was a wonderful life. However, for me, it wasn't enough. These people were great, and some of them, including Bob Proctor, were very, very in love with the light, with God. However, they weren't enlightened. I could feel that they weren't. They had a love for God, but I wanted someone who had a direct union with God, an actual enlightenment. I was very, very blessed to meet at last an enlightened teacher after 13 years of travel and search. I met her when I walked into this event she had in San Diego. Kundalini is her name. And thank God the Spirit guided me to come to America because that's where she was. I'd seen gurus and different people all over the world, and I had sat in front of a couple of Indian gurus who were enlightened. But they weren't for me. It didn't quite fit. Maybe because it was the culture. Both didn't even speak English. I don't know what it was, but it still wasn't for me. So I did find a couple of people who had that conscious union with God called enlightenment, called a Kundalini awakening, whatever you choose to call it. But my enlightened teacher was a Western woman, a beautiful young woman. And when she put her hands up, I saw light glowing out of her hands. I was looking around the room to see if anyone else saw this magic. My eyes were watering up. I was dazed and blissed out. What's going on here? After all those years of searching to find God, I realized that all that light that she was transmitting was what had been missing from my path. I had to find that person who was union with God. And I found her in this beautiful form, funny, outrageous sometimes, irreverent, so loving, so strong and powerful. But I would always be blown away and be like, how is there so much light coming from this little woman? Before I started truly understanding it, it would just blow my mind. It kept blowing my mind, thank God. And so I did everything that she suggested to do. And I could feel when I was practicing my meditation that light was coming through me like never before. I could feel tingling at the top of my head and waves of bliss and vibration coming through me. I was feeling a heart glow beyond anything before. I didn't realize it at the time, but the reason I had always had heart glow was because my heart chakra had already been partially activated from past lives. I was born that way. So meeting her and having this light transmitted, I meditated and I did everything she said to do. And I'd already been doing a lot of those things before I'd even met her. But this was absolutely so amazing grace. Being able to tap into someone's consciousness who is in union with God is the fast road. And it wasn't always easy, but I did everything I was told. And the ego sometimes got very confounded. It was like, what's going on here? I don't want to die. Eventually, I started having what I call Stargate experiences, where I would just take off, loud like bees buzzing in my head, like sounds, huge sounds. And then I'd be going zoom through this Stargate, just like the TV show. I'd be off into these different dimensions until eventually one day, one blessed day, the Kundalini completely went out of my Sushumna, my crown chakra, and everything exploded into light. And I realized after that moment of awakening, it was all so simple, but it would never have happened without that amazing, amazing teacher we all lovingly call Kundalini. And I thank God for her being born. Every day, I feel the love for my teacher and for everything that she has gone through in so many past lives to uplift others, and then for her to go out and teach to assist others to awaken. So I recommend that you do all the things that I talked about. Exercise your body, eat a healthy diet, read positive books, do affirmation and intentions, and do all the things that will bring you into higher consciousness. And please, 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 my darlings, don't complain. Do not complain. Love your neighbor as yourself. You don't have to like the person. I'm not saying you have to like, oh, I love this person even though they're being an asshole. No, I'm not talking about that. You love the divine in each person. You don't have to like them, but you love the divine because it is your divine presence. It's the same divine presence inside. Well, not actually inside the body. It is omnipresent with everybody. It is the one omnipresent light, and it is yours. So I highly recommend you find yourself an enlightened teacher. And if you don't want to come to me as your teacher, then please do find somebody who is awakened, because you don't have all the time in the world. It is really challenging to attempt to do it on your own, which I attempted to do for years. Trust me, I really did. Just do whatever it takes to become free, because once you're free and all your fears are gone, you can see the world exploding into light. Everything is liquid light, and you've just got this hum in your heart, in your body, 24/7. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you're in the bliss. Now, if you'd like to find out more about my teaching, you can go to www.themysticalexperience.com. I have students from all walks of life from all over the world. We get together sometimes in person and sometimes just via Zoom. I want you to know that you, my friend, have all the power, all the light, everything inside of you right now to become free. You just need that boost. It's so vital. I love you so much. God bless you greatly. I am with you. In love and oneness, Michele. Now remember, for just the price of a cup of coffee, you can get the Magnet to Money app. It has tons of affirmations, daily morning meditations, notifications with the Magnet to Money song, and more to keep you on track to manifest your goals. All you have to do is listen for just the price of a cup of coffee. Go to the Apple app and go to Magnet to Money app, or go to www.magnettomoneyapp.com.
Left behind while your head is in the sand, making all your plans. Try to remember, this is just a fantasy, a single clue in the greatest mystery. Put yourself into the hands of God. You could be no safer. When the things that seem to matter to the sea, you can drift away into eternity. Why do you weep beside the ashes of your dreams? Nothing here is really as it seems. Keep praying for a breakthrough. You hold the key. Safer.